Each afternoon, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and the technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at verifiedinvesting.com. Today, we're going to go over the S&P 500 and a bunch of different stocks. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of big movers today. We do have GLW and AFRM that are heading higher. We're going to go over those stocks in addition to some of the other ones that we've been covering in this show before. First one is, let me go switch to the SPY. So here was that support level on the S&P 500 at $731.58. As you can see, we never actually came back and touched it, but this is really the line in the sand that support needs to stay above. The rejection level today is $740.99. If you're aggressive, that is where you'd start your short on the SPY. Here is a secondary level of resistance, and this is actually the current gap in the charts that was created on this opening candle on the 23rd of June. So 744.39 is for more conservative traders, knowing that you've got additional resistance at 748.17. SOXX. Look at this upsloping trend line on the SOXX. Beautiful hit. Pivot low here, secondary hit, kissed it here, third hit, fourth hit, closed below it, got a nice bounce off of it, hit it again, and got saved today. That was a great level. If it drops a little bit more, closes below that upsloping trend line, or even gets below it, $590.88 is that level to enter the SOXX for a long. Now on the short side, I'm going to have to zoom into the charts a little bit more. This pivot top right here is a really aggressive level. So if it can jump a little bit more with the semiconductors heading higher, $619.94 is that shortable level on the SOXX. Let's dive into the USO. Here was the level that I was mentioning, 108.10. However, we gapped below that this morning, and now we're trading below this low pivot point right here. And then you zoom out on the charts, you have this high pivot point right here as well. So USO is trading below that level now. I'm actually going to stay away from it. Even though that should be a pretty solid support level, I would be looking for $105 pierce because of the weakness that's going on in the USO currently. So day trade level 105.33. So what we want to do is every time that we take a look at levels, if they're piercing them in the pre-market, they're gapping either above or below them, then those levels are no longer on the table. And so that's what's going on with the USO chart, is we're getting a lot of weakness in the USO. And so that's why I'm staying away from it. So here's another chart is a Microsoft. Nice downtrend in the relative strength index, almost hit the 70. For me, this is still signaling that we've got a little bit more selling pressure. Pivot top here, secondary hit, third hit, finally broke out. Hasn't retraced it for the second time on this downsloping trend line. So this is what I'd be waiting for, is another retrace after this big move to the upside. So again, 366.82 is that support level. If you're aggressive, that's your level. If it drops a little bit more, you can add or enter a trade at $362.17. Somewhere in that area whenever it hits this downsloping trend line. If it does break this support level at 366.82, you're looking at $344.70. Amazon, another stock, nice long level bounce, starting to create a nice uptrend in the relative strength index. Nice bid today, is heading up. It's at $241.91. Here's your rejection level on AMZN, $246.03. Never got down quite to my secondary level. I was actually hoping we would have a little bit more of a sell-off. Have this previous gap in the charts right here on this red bar candle at $231.01. Never got there. However, this support level did hold, which is good to see on Amazon for another bid to the upside. Gap in the previous gap in the charts, a lot of price consolidation. 246.03 is that level. Google, nice move to the downside. Finally caught support at this pivot top. Great support level. Now what we're looking at is this downsloping trend line. So the logarithmic charts, it doesn't really matter with the chart of Google, but here's this down sloping trend line. Pivot top here, kiss it here, secondary hit, kind of consolidated right in this area. So this is your rejection level on Google. If we stay below this, then we're going to continue this downtrend on GOOGL. Again, if it gets back into the support level of 341.68, even though it's hit a couple times after this bounce and then this rejection, this would be a retrace back to the support level. So today, 341.68 is the level I'd be looking at getting into this for a long. On a short, this is the level right here. Red bar candle high, $357.95. That is where I'd be looking to short Google if we can get another continued push. Netflix, lot of negative RSI divergence. Negativity on the RSI heading down. My long level, $73.49. Look at this. Zooming into the charts, taking off the RSI. I'm going to remove these trend lines. Look at where it's trading. It's getting close to the $71.80 level. You zoom out in the charts, look at all of this support in this area for Netflix. So on a technical basis, you are going to maintain price action above this. If that happens, then we're going to get another bid to the upside. If we drop, you have this low pivot or this high pivot point right here at $69.01. If you're looking to dollar cost average in, that is the next level of support, knowing you've got this gap in the charts just a little bit lower at $68.67. Palantir got this nice drawdown or continued move to the downside today, flushed this 119.91 level. So here's the gap in the charts that I'm looking at on PLTR is $110.48 for a long play today if we can get a continued sell-off. Now, if that level breaks, here is this nice trend line in the charts that I'm watching, $97.72. Pivot top here, pivot low here, ton of price consolidation. So Palantir, $97.72. Once it breaks this $110 level. SanDisk, look at this chart. Nice downsloping trend line on the relative strength index. Nice upsloping trend line on the price action. That is negative divergence. I was mentioning yesterday, $1,938 was your long level. However, look at what we're doing today. We did get a decent bounce going into the morning session, and then we're continuing the selling pressure. If we drop a little bit more, previous gap in the charts right here, plus this wide range green bar candle, $1,881.51 is your long level today on SanDisk. I don't have any short levels if it does get a nice bid to the upside. However, this is my long level today on SanDisk. If we start breaking that on a 15-minute closing basis, if you're not looking to dollar cost average, you would just look to re-enter it right here at this low pivot point, sitting right here at 1866.47. Ultra conservative traders wait for a continued flush all the way to 1831. NBIS, nice drawdown today. Look at this. Added to the NASDAQ 100 or the S&P 500. It got added to an index. Doesn't really matter. $246.86 is your long level today. Previous red bar candle high, as well as a low pivot. NBIS, this is going to be your support level if it gets there. If you're ultra conservative, and in the next few days, $232.36 is that level that I would be looking to go long on NBIS if we can get a continued push to the downside. And you've also got the secondary gap in the charts right here, just below it at $222.27. Micron is staying weak. Let me reset the charts. Here's a still upsloping trend line. Pivot top here, secondary hit. Never got back up and hit this $1,228 level. Now, long level yesterday, $1,043.19. Worked out beautifully. Now we're below that level, so that's no longer support and has already filled that gap. Every once in a while, you can retrace on gap fills depending on the move, but because of the weakness in this and it closed towards the lower end of the gap in the charts, today was not an opportunity to go long on MU. My long level today is $981.41. If we do get up a little bit higher, this level at $1,100 Pierce would be the rejection level that MU is going to have. One thing to keep note is Micron has earnings at the closing bell. I don't know which direction it's going to go. The question is, are the earnings reports already priced into the stock? Or Are the profit takers going to come out of the woodworks and continue to slam this thing down? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out. It's going to be interesting after the bell. It's really going to have a big impact on the memory stocks going forward. AFRM, again, here's this nice move to the upside. Huge surge. Look at this resistance. Ton of price consolidation in this area on AFRM. I actually like this for a short level. Right now, zoom into the 1 minute time frame, and we're starting to see some negative RSI divergence. So this is what I'm monitoring. Oh, let me go ahead and switch on the charts. Here we go. Pivot low here, secondary hit. We're looking to get below this upswing trend line. It hasn't done that yet. But once it does, and it gets below this upper multiplier band, it has opportunity to come back down to $700 or $78.85. This is basically your line in the sand. If it can drop below that, then you're coming down to this low pivot point, sitting about $77.98. For me, if we can break that, here's the level that I'd be looking at, $76.40. A lot of stuff has to happen, especially with this negative RSI divergence. For me, this is telling me that AFRM is starting to show signs of weakness. One caveat, though, is there's not a ton of volatility. Sometimes you get stocks with a lot of volatility. Every once in a while, you'll get a stock that doesn't have a lot of volatility, even though it's got negative RSI divergence. So be careful with AFRM and have a clear plan. Are you going to dollar cost average into it? Or if it does break above $80, that whole round number, and continues to push, are you going to stop out? Whatever your plan is, make sure you have one and stick to it like it's golden. And then last but not least is GLW I was mentioning. Look at this drawdown on GLW. Huge push to the downside. Look at this negative RSI divergence. This one has a lot more volatility. I was actually playing this in the live day trading room at $215.18. I still love this level, but because we're already starting to roll over below this upper multiplier band, $210.95 is going to be a little bit of support. Now, if it heads up a little bit more, what we're going to do is now turn on the 10-minute time frame and do a Fibonacci extension or retracement. Here would be the area that you could enter a trade on, a day trade short on GLW now that it's gotten above the all-time highs. $1,700 or $217.77. That would be a retracement of 1.13. I love this as a retrace for an entry price on GLW. So if you're looking to enter it, that is the level that I would get into it now that it's already starting to roll over a little bit more. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here. If you could do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell so you can get notified when these videos drop. And we'll see you next time in the charts. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.